Hey guys, how's it going? I am a new pilot into the backcountry style flying, and I bought a experimental Super Cub. I did a lot of internet searching, and I only found one. Well, there's a couple forums, old forums, about people having a hard time spacing out their calipers far enough away from their tires, so they were getting a lot of interference and rubbing issues. So I was able to find the spacers I was looking for to space out the disc from the back of the wheel, the Cleveland style wheels, and Alaskan Bush Parts actually has these in stock. They do not have them on their website, but it was pretty exciting that I was able to get these. They sent them down right away. I am in Washington State. I think it took 2 or 3 days to get here, and then I was able to throw them on. I did not find any other information online about this process, so I just wanted to document this and basically post it just to help out anybody else. Let me know what you guys think. I recently moved hangars to another hangar here in Washington, so I do not have any of my tools or anything set up. So it did make this job a little bit more difficult, maybe than it needed to be, not having an air compressor and a couple things like that. But really, I just used a couple basic tools to knock this out, and it was pretty straightforward. Alright guys, so I'm actually new to recording anything I do, so I didn't get a video of me installing the spacers, but these are the spacers. They come with all new hardware, comes with 4 spacers total, and Alaskan Gear Company is who sells them, .com. So once you pull the wheels off, really, it goes pretty quick. The longest part of this entire process was working out of a new hangar that I didn't have any of my tools in. I didn't have an air compressor. I didn't have anything like that. So I kind of had to work out of my little car, which I had like a little 12-volt air compressor pump. It just wasn't ideal, but even with all of those kind of roadblocks per se, this entire job front to back took me maybe an hour or so by myself. It really didn't take long at all, and before this I was really stuck on getting these spaced out properly. I come from the automotive world, so I didn't have a lot of knowledge in how this hub setup works or how these discs attach to the backside of the wheel. Usually in a vehicle, it is a little bit, it's a different style completely. Usually the disc or the rotor is riding on some sort of a hub, not just this exposed spindle. So was a little bit different, but I figured it out right away. And then that's when I reached out to Alaskan Gear Company, because I did not see them have any sort of link on their website for this. So I thought potentially it was maybe a discontinued item or a one-off item that they offered. But no, they said they have them. And it is for the, I want to say it's the 6-bolt. Yeah, I think it was for the 6-bolt Cleveland style wheel. But it is the same. You can use it for the 3-bolt style as well, which is what I have here in this video. So once I got air back in the tires and put it back on, this was kind of the most difficult part of the entire process, which was sliding in the other side of the brake pad, getting them lined up. I found that if you use a big flathead screwdriver and just put a little bit of tension behind it, you can get it to line up fairly easily, but all in all, this really was the most difficult part of the entire process. So really, if this is kind of, the biggest issue, then, it's a pretty simple job. I would say a pretty novice, mechanic or mechanically inclined individual would be able to tackle this project pretty easy if you're having this issue. Once you kind of get the pads back lined up, make sure they're all tightened back up. I didn't put a torque wrench on it or anything. I did, about 15 to 20 Taylor pounds. So nothing too crazy. And they do have a spot for tie wire or safety wire to go back through all of these, which if there's a spot for it, you might as well use it, kind of thing. Once I got everything back together, I did another quick couple checks. Just made sure I was good to go, and then I marked the inside of my wheel where it was rubbing with whiteout, like a white marker, so that way I could tell if it was still rubbing, but it was spaced off pretty far this time, so felt pretty confident. I wheeled my plane out, and I did a couple hard takeoffs and landings to try to flex that sidewall as much as possible. Other than that, if you guys liked this video, please let me know. This is my first attempt, and I'll try another one. Thanks.